Hi, everyone. Another day, and we're heading all the way down to Charlotte. It's about a 300-mile drive, but we'll stop at a few places along the way. You just can't do all that driving alone. Let's go.
This is the first real morning of the road trip, and honestly, looking out the motel window and seeing this heavy American iron in the parking lot, man, that is exactly why I crossed the ocean. Today's plan is simple but solid. We're leaving Virginia behind and driving about 300 miles straight south. Our destination is North Carolina's largest city and the heart of NASCAR, Charlotte. Honestly, the way this road cuts through Virginia makes it one of my best highway experiences in America so far. Not because it's brutally wide or fast, but because it winds right through the mountains and literally every single turn reveals a new landscape. You know, this is the part of a road trip that most travel videos just cut out because they see it as dead time between two cities. But to me, this is exactly what a real road trip is all about. The steering wheel, the engine notes humming underneath you, the music in the background, your own thoughts, and just cruising for hours. It's not just about the destinations, it's about everything in between. Just yesterday afternoon, I was crawling through Washington traffic. The day before that, I was fighting my way through the crowds on the Brooklyn Bridge. And now, here I am, driving along the Appalachians, all alone in a Mustang, heading straight south. And you know what the craziest thing about the human brain is? That this massive, unbelievable shift already feels completely natural by day 4. Roughly 4 hours and 300 miles later, we have reached the heart of North Carolina. Welcome to Charlotte. Behind New York, it stands as the second largest financial center in the United States. However, from an engineering perspective, its true value lies elsewhere. Charlotte is the absolute capital of NASCAR. Believe it or not, 73% of the entire US motorsport industry, nearly 3/4, is concentrated precisely in this region. Nearly every elite NASCAR team operates out of this area. It is only fitting that the sport's monumental shrine, the Hall of Fame, was erected here. I can see the structure ahead. Let's park the Mustang and dissect the peak of American mechanical engineering. Cue the gasoline. Outside the Hall of Fame, there are thousands of bricks, each engraved with a message from a fan. To fathers, grandfathers, and friends who loved racing. This isn't just a museum, it's a memorial park. We've just stepped into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and right past the entrance, you're hit square in the face by the most spectacular exhibit in the entire sport, Glory Road. What you see behind me is a brutal ramp built at a massive 33-degree angle. Why exactly 33 degrees? Because down to the millimeter, this matches the exact banking of the turns at the legendary Talladega Superspeedway. When commentators on TV say they are riding the wall, this is pretty much exactly what they mean. High up on this banked wall, 18 iconic race cars are lined up in chronological order, spanning from the 1950s all the way to the present day. Looking at this lineup through an engineering lens gives me actual goosebumps. Down there, at the very beginning, the early models were truly just street cars, barely modified for the track. But the ones here at the end of the line are aerodynamic masterpieces, engineered with razor-sharp surgical precision, where not a single bolt remains from the original factory stock version. This is technological evolution in its purest form. The history of American motorsport, where every single year engineers fought to build a slightly better, slightly faster, and most importantly, a slightly safer car.
Don't tell the gods I left a mess, I can't undo what has been done. Let's run for cover. What if I'm the only hero left? You better fire off your gun once and forever. He said go dry your eyes and live your life like there is no tomorrow, son. And tell the others to go singing like a hummingbird, the greatest anthem ever heard. We are the heroes of our time, but we're dancing with the demons in our minds. We are the heroes of our time, heroes. We're dancing with the demons in our minds. Heroes. We are the heroes of our time. Heroes. But we're dancing with the demons in our minds. Heroes. The crickets sing a song for you. Don't say a word, don't make a sound. It's life's creation. I make worms turn into butterflies, wake up and turn this world around in appreciation. He said I never left your side when you were lost, I followed right behind. Was your foundation. Now go sing it like a hummingbird, greatest anthem ever heard. Now sing together. We are the heroes of our time. Heroes. But we're dancing with the demons in our minds. Heroes. We are the heroes. Now go sing it like a hummingbird, the greatest anthem ever heard. Now sing together. We are the heroes of our time. Heroes. But we're dancing with the demons in our minds. Heroes. We are the heroes of our time. Heroes. But we're dancing with the demons in our minds. Heroes. We are the heroes.
This is where I feel right at home. In NASCAR, the air is your toughest, invisible rival. It's always there, and if you don't understand how it works as an engineer, it will ruthlessly beat you. Look at this. A splitter in the front, a spoiler in the back. One forces the nose down onto the track with brute force, while the other keeps the rear from literally taking off in the corners. and between them is the bodywork, shaped to cut through the air with the least possible resistance. Back in the 1960s and 70s, there was the Aero Wars era. Manufacturers like Ford, Dodge, and Plymouth fought a cutthroat battle to see who could build the most radical aerodynamics. It was the true golden age of NASCAR engineering, a time when they actually dared to experiment with wild, crazy shapes. Today, of course, it's a different story. Every single millimeter of a modern race car is supercomputer designed. CFD simulations, thousands of hours in the wind tunnel, and endless testing. And right here, the goal isn't maximizing range, it's staying glued to the asphalt at 200 miles an hour. And this right here is an Xtrac 5-speed sequential transaxle. Sequential means you can't just skip gears however you want. First to second, second to third, strictly in order. There's no time to think at 200 miles an hour. The transmission and the rear diff are combined into a single unit. This gives you better weight distribution, more grip on the rear axle, and a much more stable car in the corners. My Mustang back in the lot has a 10-speed automatic with a separate drive shaft sending power to the back. But here, everything is integrated into one piece, because out here, split seconds are all that matter. This is the Ford FR9 V8, the exclusive Ford engine of the NASCAR Cup Series. It features electronic fuel injection, which means fuel delivery isn't handled by a carburetor anymore, but by a computer with millisecond precision. This engine puts out roughly 750 horsepower, that's more than double what my Mustang can do. But this wasn't built for the street. Here, every single component serves one sole purpose: to win. Fun fact, these engines are built by hand by Roush Yates Engines. Yes, by hand. Every single part is selected, measured, and fitted into place by an engineer. An engine like this costs around $100,000. My Mustang has a 2.3-liter 4-cylinder turbo. This one right here is a 5.86-liter naturally aspirated V8. Two completely different philosophies, but both are Fords, and both are monsters in their own right. The NASCAR Hauler, the team's support truck. But don't think for a second this is just a regular semi. This is literally a garage on wheels. Inside, it fits 2 race cars stacked on top of each other, plus a complete spare engine, transmission, brakes, shocks, radio gear, a generator, 2 boxes, and even the crew's uniforms. Up front, there's a command center packed with computers, monitors, and communication systems. This is where the crew chief and the engineers sit during a race weekend, running the strategy. Fully loaded, this rig weighs around 80,000 pounds, about 36 tons. Every single week, it crisscrosses America, from Charlotte to Daytona, Las Vegas to Sonoma. Sometimes the drivers pull a 40-hour non-stop run just to make it on time. And the driver? He's not just a truck driver. On race weekends, he's a core part of the team. He unloads the truck, sets up the garage, and sometimes even works over the wall during pit stops. There's no glamour behind the scenes in NASCAR. Just an 80,000-pound truck, a driver running on 0 sleep, and a team putting everything on the line for a single race. 1956 Chrysler 300. 340 horsepower Hemi engine, a true monster of the 1950s. But what's really interesting isn't just the car, it's the shop that stood behind it. Back in the 50s, NASCAR wasn't high-tech. No computers, no simulation software, no telemetry. What they had were hand-bent wrenches, flathead screwdrivers custom filed by the mechanics themselves, an analog torque wrench, if they even had one, and a sharp eye that just knew when something was right and when it wasn't. Engines were built strictly by hand. Carl Kiekhaefer, the team owner, would run his engines on the dyno for 8 hours straight overnight, bumping pumping the load by 500 revolutions per minute every 2 hours. A new Chrysler engine put out 275 horsepower from the factory. Under Kiekhaefer's care, it pushed 340 to 365 horsepower. Same engine, he just understood how to extract the absolute maximum from it. He personally inspected the tires after every run. He even analyzed the engine oil in a lab. And here is the craziest part. His team won 80% of the races. 16 wins in a row. Not a single driver injured. Not a single rule broken. But they dominated so hard that the fans actually started to hate them. Kiekhaefer took it personally, and in 1957 he walked away from it all. Today's tools are more precise, digital, but the core principle remains exactly the same. The one who truly understands the machine is the one who wins. 70 years ago and today. What you see here is a Toyota Camry. Nominally, it's the same platform you find in any shopping mall parking lot. However, this specific machine generates 850 horsepower. The left section represents the showroom floor, climate control, infotainment, comfortable seating, an automatic transmission, and 301 horsepower. The right section represents pure motorsport engineering, a rigid roll cage, safety harnesses, and a 5.86-liter V8 pumping out triple the factory output. A production Camry scales at roughly 3,300 pounds. The NASCAR variant matches that mass exactly to satisfy the rulebook, but whereas the street car allocates those pounds to heavy insulation and sound systems, the race car distributes every single gram purely for structural safety and velocity. The body isn't steel, it utilizes hand-laid composite panels, precision-fitted to the millimeter to optimize aerodynamics. The suspension geometry is entirely bespoke, with dampers and springs revolved for every single track layout. Daytona demands an entirely different setup than Bristol, visually similar on the surface, but mechanically worlds apart. That is the philosophy of NASCAR. Take a stock vehicle and re-engineer it into an absolute monster.
You gotta keep on going, no matter what I say. Doesn't matter what they do, 'cause we go together. Doesn't matter what they say, 'cause we go together. I hope we'd be there now, that we've seen it all through. It might sound crazy now, but it wasn't supposed to.
This morning began out in the mountains of Luray. Tonight, I find myself in Charlotte, the epicenter of NASCAR. 300 miles across open highways, a brief lunch in a small town, and a museum experience that proved aerodynamics can be your greatest adversary. Regrettably, time didn't allow for exploring Charlotte today, despite my best intentions. Tomorrow, our route takes us further south to Savannah. But for now, it's time to hit the shower, back up the video files, and finally call it a night. Thank you for riding along with me today. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.